What if I told you there are some quick and easy ways that you could boost your immunity, optimize your digestion, and sleep soundly without adding hours of self-care or cooking to your daily routine? Sounds pretty good, right? While diet and lifestyle are certainly the foundations of health, and we're not going to get healthy without aligning our diet and lifestyle with what's ideal for our body type and the season that we're in, herbs can be a powerful way to support this alignment and to augment the benefits that we get when we dial our lifestyle and diet in. So I wanted to share a few of my favorite herbs to use during this time of year, which where I am in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the fall season, and some recipes for how you can integrate them into your day-to-day and get the benefits. So before you grab another cup of coffee, listen up. The first on the list is Chyavanprash. Chyavanprash is an ancient Ayurvedic herbal formula that is made in a very special way. There's very elaborate instructions for how you prepare Chyavanprash, and it basically is an herbal jam. So the good news about it is that even kids can enjoy it, and they usually like the taste of it because it's kind of sweet. This herb is great for Vata and Pitta types, for the folks who are on the lighter side, folks who are maybe tend toward dryness, maybe tend toward extra heat in the body and inflammation. Chyavanprash is a good fit for you. I find that it can be a little bit sweet for Kapha types, the folks who more easily tend toward congestion and mucus and gain weight easily. Chyavanprash is a little bit heavy and sweet for you, but I've got another herb combo coming right up that's going to suit you beautifully. So with Chyavanprash, it's also very convenient and quick to prepare it and take it because, well, you buy it already prepared. And some of my favorite source to get Ayurvedic herbs from is Banyan Botanicals. That's Banyan Botanicals. And if you just look up banyanbotanicals.com, you'll find Chyavanprash in there. So you can just take a teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoonfuls in the morning, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. And then ideally you let the herb do its magic for a couple hours before you eat. You can certainly still sip on hot water or whatever your morning beverage is, but ideally you give the Chyavanprash a couple hours, at least 1 hour before you have a rich meal. So I like to, when I'm using it, I take it first thing, right when I get up, brush my teeth, do my neti pot, and then take the Chyavanprash right away, and then have my hot water and gradually work my way up to breakfast. The next pair of herbs that I love for this time of year are ginger and turmeric. These are great for both boosting your immunity and optimizing your digestion. Root herbs in general are ideal for this time of year because if you think about it, that's where the plants are all sending their energy down into the roots. So we generally look to root herbs and even root foods, right? We eat more root veggies in the fall time because they have a grounding effect. And there's something about that just seems intuitive, right? That roots would be grounding. And we all need extra grounding this time of year because of all the wind and mobility and change that's happening as we move into the fall season. So with ginger and turmeric, what I like to do is I slice the fresh ginger very thin, like I would an onion. And I don't peel it. You can peel it if you want. I just leave the peel on. Slice it really thin, usually about a 1-inch piece of ginger for about 4 cups of water. And I add the sliced ginger into a pot with the water, bring it to a boil, and then low boil it for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I add about a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder into the tea, and then I turn off the heat, let it steep for maybe 5 minutes or so, and then I strain it off into a mug and sweeten it with a little bit of honey. This is great to take at the first sign of illness, when you first start to feel a little headachy, a little congested, you notice a little cough coming on, I make this right away. And I like to take it before bed. So I drink the tea and then head off to sleep shortly after. And this allows kind of that immune boosting magic that it does to really kick into full gear, because you're not awake and ingesting other things, whether that be conversations or snacks or television, whatever it is. So take it before bed at the first sign of sickness, and then hopefully in the morning you should wake up feeling a lot better. You can also use this tea if you've eaten too much, if you've had a heavy, rich meal and you feel really tired and sluggish after eating, or maybe you feel tired and sluggish the next morning after you've eaten a rich dinner. This is a great little antidote for that. So keep it in mind, post-Thanksgiving, I like to serve it after dessert as a way to help everyone digest all the delicious food that we've eaten. And next on my list are sedatives, gentle sedative herbs. A lot of my clients report trouble sleeping this time of year. Again, we're ungrounded, we're overstimulated. There's all this wind, there's all this change. This time of year, we tend to be getting back into our routines with school and work, and we're just busier in general than we were over the summertime. And so there's a lot more that we're managing and thinking about day to day. And this can really activate the mind and make it challenging for us to fall asleep at night. It's also getting darker earlier, and we might stay up late with the TV on, our computer on, the lights on, and all this artificial light at night also makes it challenging for us to fall asleep. So a couple of my favorites for supporting sound sleep are Passionflower. That you can find if you have a local herb store. You can probably find it there in bulk. I like to get my Western herbs from Mountain Rose. So if you just Google Mountain Rose herbs, you'll get their website and you can order Passionflower from there. And Passionflower is pretty quick and easy to make because it's a leafy herb. You just boil some water, maybe a cup of water, and then add a teaspoonful of the dried herb into the pot of water, cover it with a lid, and let it steep about 5 to 10 minutes, then strain it off and drink it. I like to drink it about an hour or two before bedtime so that it has time to work its magic and get me nice and drowsy when it's actually time to go to bed. Another Ayurvedic support for sound sleep is warm milk with a few pinches of nutmeg. So you can just warm up whatever milk of choice you enjoy, cow milk, goat milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever your pleasure is. And just before the milk starts to boil, you turn off the heat and you add the milk to the pot with a couple pinches of nutmeg. And then just before the milk starts to boil, turn off the heat, pour it off into your mug and drink it while it's nice and warm. That will also kind of lull you to bed, and it's a good idea to do that an hour or two before bedtime. The warm milk with nutmeg is really great, again, for those Vata Pitta types, the folks who tend to be on the lighter side, a little drier, a little hotter. Not the best to have in the evening for folks who tend toward congestion. We don't want to have milk right before bed if you tend toward congestion. It can aggravate that. But usually the folks who tend toward congestion don't have trouble falling asleep. If they do, Passionflower is a great fit for you. So those are my favorite herbs and how to make them for the fall time. I also really love doing an herbal chai this time of year to start the day. I know it's really tempting to have coffee in the morning, which is very overstimulating to the nervous system and very drying to the tissues, and that's especially challenging this time of year. But doing a spicy herbal chai can be a nice way to wake yourself up and get that kind of enlivening sense that you get from the coffee without putting your nervous system into overdrive. So if you would like my herbal chai recipe, just email me at indraholistic@gmail.com and I'll send it right over to you. Thanks so much for tuning in.